Hey, Shalom. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who grew well. Peace and salutations to the elect who firmly believe on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now, the title of this lesson is going to be inspired by Proverbs 21:3. Justice and judgment is better than sacrifice. Justice and judgment is better than sacrifice. And let's get right into it. This is Proverbs 21 verse 3. It reads, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord Yahweh than sacrifice. And just let's examine that right quick, right? Because I got a quick Google definition on judgment. It says judgment, the ability to make considered decisions or come to sensible conclusions. And some of the synonyms here is discernment. And King Solomon, he exercised discernment. He exercised judgment, when the two women were pretty much fighting over whose child, the woman was. And here it is, King Solomon came with the conclusion of, split the baby in half. And he noticed how the woman reacted to when he made that judgment to who was actually the mother. He exercised a great sense of judgment. It brought forth a sensible conclusion. It's acumen, shrewdness, astuteness, common sense, good sense, perception, precipitance, penetration, acuity, discrimination, wisdom, wit, understanding, intelligence, awareness. You got to be a form of psychologist, to be able to exercise judgment. Ultimately, you got to have the understanding of the Lord. You got to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in order to be able to execute judgment. And it takes a patient individual to be able to execute judgment properly, because it's all about having sense. And real quick, let's look up justice. Quick definition. Justice, just behavior or treatment. Fair play, justice, fairness, equity, meaning value, lack of prejudice, open-mindedness, So here it is, you can't show favoritism. You can't be biased when executing justice, within the land, when dealing with the nation of Israel. So it says to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Because when you check it out, sacrifice was always used when Israel did wrong, and they wanted to make amends for their sins. That's when sacrifice pretty much came into the play. That's when sacrifice came into the picture. That's why to do justice and judgment is pretty much you getting it right the first time. You being patient, acknowledging the situation at hand, seeking counsel if need be, having that understanding, to make the proper judgment, to make the proper decision, not making the wrong decision, then having a sacrifice to make up for the wrong decision that was done. And the Lord, the Lord got men today, judging. Because here it is, you got people of the world that say you can't judge. Well, we can judge. You have to just judge in the right spirit. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 1. It says, judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. That's right. So whatever judgment that we place upon somebody, we're going to be judged according to that same fashion. So if you're telling brothers not to deal with other men's women, well, the situation is going to arise to where you can possibly have the opportunity to deal with, like another man's woman might come upon you. However, how are you going to deal with that situation? Are you going to commit adultery, or are you going to forsake that woman? The wise thing to do, would be to not deal with that woman. Stay away from that woman, because that you're going to be put in that position when you're executing certain judgment. And I'm a testimony of that. I've been through that. It says, and with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Because you don't want to be a hypocrite within this truth. When you read Matthew, I believe the 23rd chapter, Yahushua was cursing out them wicked Pharisees for being hypocrites, right? So it says, or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? That's why you got to examine yourself. We have to examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith. You know, we got to examine ourselves. We got to constantly check ourselves. We got to judge ourselves so no one else can judge us. You know, it says, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. You know, and that's how you're supposed to judge, according to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, not these churches, man. You know, 1 Peter, chapter 4, start at verse 5. It says, who shall give account to him that is ready to judge the quick and the dead? It says, for this cause was the gospel preached, also to them that are dead, that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in the Spirit. You know, how do we live according to the Most High and to the Spirit? Because we judge according to the Word. When we read St. John, in fact, let me get it right quick. I'm going to jump back. When we get John chapter 6, verse 63, it tells us that the Word is the Spirit. This is John 6:63. It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So that's what we judge according to. You know, we don't judge based upon our own vain opinion. You know, we judge according to the mind of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right? So let me bust back. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 6. For this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead. How are they dead? They dead because they lack knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The scriptures tell us, he that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. I believe that's Proverbs 21:16. It says that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to God in the spirit. So that's a cutter, man. That's a cutter for these churches. That's a cutter for individuals who think, you know, men in the flesh cannot judge. We have the right to judge homosexuals, you know, also known as sodomites. We have the right to judge anyone getting lineups. We got the right to judge adulterers. You know, we have the right to judge anyone smoking weed. We have the right to judge anyone eating crab, shrimp, lobster, and pork. You know, we have the right to judge pretty much anyone living ungodly, you know, and upholding the ways of this society. You know, we have that right. You know, so what's doing justice and judgment is better than sacrifice. And when we go out there to the highways and byways, we're executing justice and judgment. You know, because we're telling Israel of their sins. You know, I'm gonna get 2 Chronicles chapter 19. I'm gonna start at verse 5. It says, and he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city, and said to the judges, take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for Yahweh, who is with you in the judgment. You know, so we have to take heed to what we do. We have to execute judgment and justice. You know, we have to be open-minded. We have to be fair. You know, we can't have a respect the person when executing judgment. You know, the Lord didn't have respect of person as far as with when it came to King David, when he committed adultery. You know, death was still required. Though the wages of sin is death when it comes to adultery, the Lord had took the firstborn that he had with Bathsheba, I believe her name is. You know, so judgment was still executed. You know, he still got paid for that. You know, though he was sorrowful and he repented of it, the Lord still judged him according to that. You know, so none of us is greater than receiving judgment. You know, and in order to execute judgment, you have to live according to the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So that pretty much brings a conclusion, to this lesson. Justice and judgment is better than sacrifice, because it's, of course, we're not going to get it right the first time, but, you know, though a just man falls 7 times, he get it back up again. We're learning. We've been wicked all of our lives. See what I'm saying? We've been wicked all our lives. So, we're at the point now to where we're getting it right. The knowledge, understanding is being revealed to us, so what we're getting it right. When the Lord chastises us, we're getting it right. That's what it's about. So Lord willing, Akim was edified. I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.